You're never happy, are you? That is a very good thing. You will continually come to clarity about new desire. You will continually come to new awareness that your desires will be eternally amended. And we want for you the ease and comfort and joy that come in the finally recognizing that you're not ever going to get it done. That a new desire is going to continue to percolate within you. And, this is big, and it's going to be another unfulfilled desire. So if you are oriented to checking things off your list, life goals, you are undoubtedly discovering that you can't check them off as fast as you put them on. And if completing that list is important to you, kill me now. Kill me now. Kill me now. This is your new affirmation. Kill me now. Get me out of here now, because I will forever be frustrated at my incompletion. And we say, indeed, if completion matters to you, you will be frustrated with your incompletion, because we all are focused in a universe that is bound for expansion. And that expansion means a new idea that is not fulfilled yet. So, when you begin to get into this rhythm of a new desire being born, and it's fresh, it's bright, it's new, it's life-giving. And while it has not been manifested, it is breathing life into you. And so, as you joyfully anticipate it, and joyfully discover it, and joyfully peruse it, and joyfully anticipate it, that is the key word, and joyfully allow it, and then allow the manifestation around it, and then enjoy the new stance that you arrive at, and then enjoy the new set of contrasting experiences that give birth to yet another new desire, another new incomplete desire. But you have this knowledge now. You know that anything that you desire that you can bring about. You have this knowledge that you are about achieving vibrational harmony with your own desire. You have this knowledge that the basis of your world is well-being. And so you don't stand as you may have once stood, or as some now stand, in a sort of panicked feeling of incompletion of something important. Instead, you understand that everything is coming to you, and that there is no rush in any of it, and that well-being is the basis of all things, and that your work is to relax into that knowledge of well-being, and then allow this magical, it isn't magic, it seems like magic, especially when you first begin to allow it, allow this seemingly magical, universal response to you. It is so delicious when you finally understand that you are the center of your universe, and that all that you know as source is aware of you. And that when contrast or variety, whatever you want to call this mix of opportunity, when contrast inspires you to a preference, soft or big, that all that is hears it immediately and responds to it. When you say, ask and it is given, you have never found more accurate words, because when you ask even at a cellular level, source energy responds. Sometimes our physical friends don't know that, because they feel like they've been asking all over the place. They feel as if they've been asking, and there are all kinds of things that they're either asking to leave them or asking to come to them, and it feels to them that they are not coming or they are not going. And we say, oh, your request has been answered. And if you are not living it already, then you must not, then you must not yet be a vibrational match to your own desire. That's all there is to it. In other words, creating is about lining up energy in you. It's not about lining everything else up. It's not about getting anybody else in the universe even to agree with you. It's about you being a vibrational match to your own desire. It's about the mix within you. You're the only one who can get in your way. You are the only one who can hurt you. You are the only one who can put yourself in a vibrational place where you are not in harmony with your own desires. And the good news is, every single time you're doing it, to any degree, you have an emotional indicator that lets you know that you're doing it. When you feel positive emotion, like joy or exhilaration or love or appreciation, that means that in that moment, your horses are lined up. But when you feel fear or blame or anger or any of those emotions that you describe as not good feeling emotions, that means you got a desire going one way and a belief going another. And it's a significant enough belief, meaning it's a significant enough thought, meaning it's a thought you practice often enough, meaning it's an active enough thought in your vibration, meaning it's a dominant enough part of your vibration that it's in your way. So, some good words to focus upon. Dominant vibration. What's my dominant vibration? When we talk about your dominant relationships, we're talking about what has been most activated within you. Jerry and Esther were in a car wash a day or two ago, and Jerry found a book, and it is really a book written to the new father. And since Tracy and David have new baby Kate, these things are sort of interesting in the family these days. And so Jerry picked the book up and was reading a little bit of it, and he found it so humorous he wanted to buy it. So over the next few days, the book is very cleverly written. It talks about what to expect the first month from the baby and what to expect in the first month from the baby's mother, and then the second month, and then the third month, and then the fourth month, and so on. These are things that she is complaining about. What is mother most complaining about? Number 1 is exhaustion. Number 2 is you. And then down this list of endless things, and they're very humorous things. Esther and Jerry laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed as they are reading this book. And then, this morning, Esther said to Jerry, I know this sounds crazy, but I think you activated complaining in me. Just playfully toying with all of these things, because suddenly Esther's more aware that the air conditioning in her room is too cold, and then it's too hot, and then it's too cold, and then it's too hot, and then it's too cold. In other words, it's as if some underlying vibrations have been activated by this 2 hours of reading this book. They've been reading it while they've been driving, and we say, sure enough. In other words, you cannot turn your attention to something without activating a vibration within you. Now, Esther was upset about this. She said, I thought I was way past that. As if she had had some very precise surgery that had removed anything like that so that it could never be activated again. And we say, your thoughts are not like that. You don't have a storage cabinet full of thoughts that somebody opens a drawer and gets them out and presents them again. You are a transmitting and receiving mechanism, and every thought that has ever been thought by you or by anybody else is available to you. So when something causes you to get focused upon something and you activate within yourself a frequency, now you have access to those thoughts. And it's not that you've been dragging around negative beliefs. It is that you have developed, or you are developing, or today you are practicing vibrational tendencies that give you access to that. That's like getting in your car, setting your radio to 98.6, and then complaining that you're getting 98.6. I would much rather listen to other stations. Why is that the only station I get? And we say, push the button, change the focus, change the tuner transmitter, set it on a different signal. And so what we are saying to you is you're setting the signal every single time. And often you don't even mean to be doing it. Sometimes what is dominant within you was emphasized when you were 2. You observed it in the family or in the circumstances around you. And as it began, and you made no intention, conscious intention, to turn your attention otherwise, it began to be a pattern of vibration. And so, 2 words that we think would be valuable for you to focus upon. One is, what is my dominant vibration relative to the subject of dollars? Freedom or bondage? What is my dominant vibration relative to my body? Am I in love with it or do I hate it? Do I trust it or does it scare me? What is my dominant vibration relative to my mother or my sister or my brother or the children in the campground next to me? What am I today activating in them? Last night, as Jerry and Esther sat at a restaurant, they were very glad to be there, and they'd rushed to make their reservation time, and they sort of slipped into their seat and were just in the process of relaxing into the comfort of their space. And their server was late coming to work, so someone else took their drink order. And then a woman came to their table, obviously the one who had been assigned to them, and she was sort of abrupt, and Jerry and Esther did not really notice it because they were involved in conversation about some fixtures they're choosing for a bathroom in Texas. And Esther had the book spread out across the table, and then the woman came back with their salads, and she was really upset that Esther's book was in the way. And she said, "Excuse me," as if, "What do you think you're doing, looking at a book in a restaurant?" And Esther said, "Just set it over there." So the games began. Who's really in charge of this table? And then the woman walked away, and Esther had a knot in her stomach. And Esther said, "Remember yesterday when we were talking to Sabrina? And she said that she knew someone who was grouchy, a bank teller or someone. And she just envisioned them joyful, sparkling, different. And for her, he became that." Esther said, "We used to play this game a lot. Let's play it again." So Esther said, "Let's talk about our server, who is clearly a very responsible woman, who wants very much to do a good job, who undoubtedly has a very broad life beyond this, who must be very good at what she does to even be here. She's in the process right now of settling into her day, as we all must do, and she's in that transitioning stage. And so here she is, beginning to remember why she's here in this restaurant, interacting with us. She's really a beautiful girl. She obviously cares very much about herself. It's important to her how she relates to others. I bet she has a beautiful smile. Her eyes are magnificent. I think we'll have a very good time here tonight." And when she came to the table next to pick up the salad plates, she dropped Esther's fork. And they all laughed. And then they had fun, they had conversation, the trauma was over. You have, in every moment of your life, no matter who you are interacting with, the ability to activate the best in them. And when you do, your life will be good. Or you have the ability to observe them wherever you might have bumped into them, let them activate that in you, and then you don't have a very good time and you blame them, and then you feel powerless because the world stinks. Everywhere you go, there's someone troubling. And we say, you get to choose. You get to choose what you activate in everyone, and you will be amazed at the personalities that they have just ready to show you. They are brilliant. They are loving. They are adoring. They are good. They are reliable. They are helpful. They are loving. And they want to play with you. But sometimes that's not where they're vibrating. And it really is your job, if they're in your world, to do something about that. Now you say, well, it's not my job to vibrate for them. And we say, no, it certainly isn't. But it is your job to maintain your vibration. Because that's how these horses get all out of balance. You don't do it on purpose. You don't set out. You don't begin your day by saying, I have a goal and I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen.